Hi, this is Bill Brower for Inside Edge Systems, Easy Language Learning by Example for TradeStation. This is lesson 1.04. In this lesson, you will learn about an analysis technique called a show me. We will also be working with if-then statements, and you will learn about how to use operators. We will also explore volume and show how to use it in your code and how it differs depending on your bar interval, daily or intraday, and the chart settings. We will be building the range leader show me. Conditions can be placed within if-then statements, and if-then statements have a logical part and an action part. The logical part goes between the if and the then, and the action part goes between the then and a semicolon. Logical parts can be strung together with or and words. Those are reserved words. Or and together require parentheses for TradeStation to figure out how you're combining your elements. This is a red flag item, and I guarantee you if you do not use parentheses with and or statements combined in the same piece of code, you're going to run into trouble. Range is another reserved word that is a computation of the high of a bar minus the low of the bar. So here we have an example of how to combine using and or statements if x is greater than 0 and y is less than 0. And notice that is in parentheses, or z happens to be true. Z would be a conditional statement. Then to do something. And the do something is the action part. Here are a list of operators. The greater than sign, less than, equal to, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal. It would look like this. Obviously, if O for open is greater than close, then we're going to do something. Brackets are used to, these are square brackets, are used to refer to a previous bar. The number in the brackets identifies the number of bars ago. So with a 0 in the brackets is the current study bar, and a 1 is the immediate prior bar. If no brackets are used, the study bar is assumed to be the one you are talking about. Sometimes brackets refer to array elements, but that is going to be left for a future subject. Unless you know how to create arrays, you will not have to worry about them. So our statement here now is using the square brackets with the number 1 in it. So we have the open of the current bar is greater than the close of the prior bar, and the close of the current bar is greater than the high of the prior bar, and the range is greater than the range of the prior bar. Then we're going to do something. So we're getting close to our code for the range leader. We just need to deal with volume. Now, show me's are blobs which are plotted on the bars that match a condition that is true or false. V, which is volume on daily bars, does not work well on intraday bars. You need to use the word ticks. It also depends on how your chart is set up. You can set up your chart to show volume or to have it show tick volume, and I will show you inside TradeStation how that is done. So here we have a range leader designed for daily data. It is the range is greater than the prior range, which would imply a more volatile component. Something is happening than the prior bar, and the volume is greater than the volume of the prior bar, which would go along with generally goes along with expanding range. And open is greater than the prior bar's close, and the close is greater than the high of the prior bar. That then, if all that is true, that then gets plotted with a blob at the high of the bar, and we're going to call this our range lead up tool. Now let's go look at TradeStation and see how this looks. So here we are in the TradeStation development environment. I click on File, New, and instead of selecting Indicator, I select Show Me. I'm going to call it LBE for Learning by Example 1.04. And I'm going to create a condition variable. There are 99 of them. This is condition 1. There is no need to declare condition variables. These are true, false, or Boolean. Condition 1 is equal to range greater than range of the prior bar, and V for volume greater than volume of the prior bar, and the open is greater than the close of the prior bar, and the close is greater than the high of the prior bar. And that is my condition. I need a plot statement using an if-then setup. If condition 1, and if I could say equals true. However, there's no need to say equals true, because if I don't say anything, TradeStation assumes I am testing for condition 1 to be true. Condition 1 is true, then plot 1, the high, and this is going to be called range, RNG, lead up. Let's see if this verifies. Down here it says saved and verified. Let us check our properties. I right click in the background, go to properties. No need for additional bars to load. I'm going to go here to the style. Show me's are almost always points. You can choose across, but not line items. You don't want to connect show me blobs generally. So this is a point. I'm going to make it a nice big fat point so we can see it down here, and it's going to be colored red. Show me blobs are always plotted on data 1. You can create indicators that look like show me's and plot them on data 2, but that is another lesson. I'm going to click on OK. We notice that it now says saved, not verified. F3 will verify our code. I now am going to go to my chart, insert this show me. The reason it takes so long to load on my machine is I have 5,000 pieces of code. I can go directly to the L's by clicking on the letter L. Where's my 1.04? I'm going to click on OK. No inputs to format. I click on OK again. These are the show me blobs, and you will notice that they appear at the high of the bar as I have specified. So this is the show me blob indicating a range lead up condition on every single one of these bars with the blob at the high of the bar. You will recall I mentioned that daily data behaves differently than intraday data when it comes to volume. So if we click on the menu Format Symbol, we notice that we are using daily data and there are no settings available. If we wanted to, we could, in our code, use the word ticks instead of volume, and we would get tick volume. A tick is a trade, so it would count the number of trades. Now let's take a look at minute-based data, 45-minute bars. Here again we have show me conditions, but if we click on the menu, Format Symbol, we now have a choice of what type of data to be plotting on our chart: trade volume or tick count. For your information, if you use the word volume on intraday data, it is only counting up volume. Down volume is not counted. So that is why you need the word ticks for intraday data. I'm going to leave this on trade volume. I'm going to go back to my daily chart. I can simply type the word daily, D-A-I-L-Y. That about concludes lesson 1.04 on building the range leader show me in TradeStation. This is Bill Brower for Easy Language Learning by Example tutorials. You can find more about the Learning by Example workbook on my website at insideedge.net. I hope you learned something, and thanks for listening.